Palm Springs has launched a new highly visible campaign that aims to show residents, businesses, and visitors that face coverings are taken seriously in the city. I spoke with Mayor Pro Tem Christy Holstage about PS Keeping You Safe. Christy, nice to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about PS Keeping You Safe.
So the city and a lot of our tourism partners have launched a campaign called Palm Springs Keeping You Safe. We've put up billboards throughout the city. We've put out large signs throughout our downtown and our business districts. We've actually put up hundreds of zip tie signs, banners, electronic message boards, letting residents and tourists know that face coverings are required in the city of Palm Springs, both when you're in a business and when you're outside walking around.
Why was it important to do this?
We heard a lot from residents that people are concerned if they're eating downtown and there's people walking by without face coverings. Local businesses were dealing with people coming in and not wearing masks like our city order requires. So we wanted to help get out the word and do a strong educational campaign along with our city's enforcement to get out the word that face masks are required and it will be enforced in the city of Palm Springs. And that's important to keep our city open, to keep our tourism going safely, to help our local businesses get through this.
Speaking of enforcement, I recently spoke with Mayor Jeff Kors and I asked him if any citations had been issued for the face covering order, and he said there had not been. He wanted there to be, but he said at this point there hadn't been any citations. So is that now changing with this new campaign?
Yeah, so we have had the ability to enforce and cite through our Palm Springs Police Department for many months. And actually our code enforcement is going out to over 100 businesses every week to do enforcement, to do checks and make sure people are in compliance. They've only had to issue very few citations because people by and large are complying. But we're asking residents, if you do see people not complying with our orders, you can submit you can call the code enforcement hotline with our police department. You could submit a complaint online through our app. We really want to make sure everyone's wearing a face covering in Palm Springs.
I'm curious, Christy, what is the feedback that you're getting from residents? Because I know that this is a very hot button issue. A lot of people do not want to wear face coverings. So what are you hearing from people?
In Palm Springs, I'm hearing that people want more enforcement. They want face masks to be required and enforced. They want educational campaigns like this, notifying tourists who are coming into the city maybe for the first time that these are our local rules. So I think by and large, everyone's really happy with as much as the city can possibly do to make sure that our orders are followed and enforced for the safety of all of us. We want to keep Palm Springs safe. We want to keep our residents and our businesses and our workers safe.
Are you seeing a lot of people coming in from out of town for short-term rentals?
We are. So we're seeing a lot of tourism still in the city of Palm Springs, people coming from larger cities to get away. There's vacation rentals are up. Tourism is up over projection. So definitely that's a concern that we have new audiences every weekend that we have to educate that masks are required and that they need to follow our orders.
When I also spoke with Mayor Kors recently, he said that there was the possibility of closing Palm Canyon to traffic to be able to help some of the businesses expand. Any update with that?
Yeah, so we've been working with our local businesses to allow parklets or allow them to go into the sidewalk or the street area to have more dining area or more room for their business. And actually this Thursday at our council meeting at 4 p.m. on Zoom, the council will be deciding if we should close more of Palm Canyon to allow for pedestrians and to allow for, a safer outdoor environment, since the governor has pushed all of this really outside for now. Unfortunately, it's so hot in Palm Springs that it's difficult to do that. And we want to help our businesses survive and do everything they can to be open and to, serve people and stay safe.
What are some of the biggest challenges right now? I know you just mentioned the heat, but to do that on top of a pandemic, how hard is it to be able to help these businesses survive?
I'm really concerned about our local businesses. I know we've already had closures on our downtown. We remember what it was like in 2008 and 2010 here. We don't want to go back. You know, I've said Palm Springs will get through this and we will reopen and we will be better than ever. We're a resilient community and our residents are resilient, but I think it is a significant concern. I've been working on our reopening task force with the mayor, with our economic development subcommittee to work directly with businesses to help them comply with the new rules, to help them get grants and different programs that are available through the county and other places. So we've been working as hard as we can to protect our businesses and our workers.
All right, Christy, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.